Shalom to all the people of the Most High Yah. I pray that you have your discernment on, your eyes are up, and looking at the things that are from above, because we're definitely in a time that we can just taste, see, hear, feel that the end is near. My family, I'm coming to talk to you today about our sisters, the daughters of Zion, and how deep the reproach runs. You know, and when you just look at the basis of reproach, you know, it definitely is associated with shame. And so then I'll take that in itself without us using any other adjectives, any other descriptors to pinpoint reproach. And so when I take what's in Isaiah 4, you know, a good name takes away reproach. You know, you go read it. A good name takes away reproach. What the Most High Yah say about a good name? He said that a good name is better than silver and gold. And that's what he's doing these days with his sons. He's giving us good names. You know, when we return to him, to the covenant of promise, we put aside all of the things that causes us to be disobedient to the one who created us all, and we begin to put our hands to the plow, and we allow ourselves to no longer be filled with unrighteousness, but to have, you know, our flesh under control and have our spirit be led by the Spirit of the Most High Yah. Then we produce good fruit that's worthy of a good name. And so, you know, as I sit back and look at just that prophetic word from Yeshayahu, who spoke that, and I just look around and I say, you know, how do you really help the daughters of Zion? You know, because it definitely ain't by sex. Because I mean, it just, you know, some of these folks, when you look at them, you see the reproach is so bad that the discernment that as a man you have towards some of these sisters, you know, they just, you don't want to be the one to touch them. Now, are they condemned by your standard? Are they condemned to living, burning hell? No, that's not what it is. But we're talking about the shame is so deep on these daughters that it's hard for some of them to recover. You know, I'm going to say this. Just in this week alone, I've talked to so many sisters. And I talked to a few other sisters in weeks past. Now, I want you all to listen to this, because remember I said shame. So here it is. I've talked to a sister who, you were doing fine. You were doing well. Nice living situation, vehicles, nice paying career. And then you let this man come in. He comes in and turns everything upside down. You all have now connection because of, you know, children being in the midst. And how are you left? Well, you're not left with the innocence, because you've done things to try to get back at him, and you all both are giving yourselves to other people outside of being together. And now you just want to find a way to be restored. And 9 times out of 10, you know, unlike yourself, you have others who desire to be with a man again. So what are you going to do this time? Are you going to go just seek one out? Are you going to lure him in with your legs open? What are you going to do this time? Because obviously some of the daughters, you're doing the same thing over and over and over. And this is what I'm coming to the conclusion of, especially when I see that I have given wise counsel. And what I said is what happened. So when I see this and it happens, and then you come running to the doorway, we talking, you crying, you got all of the theatrics taking place. It don't move me. I do care for your soul, but I don't know what you're capable of, because that's the thing that I'm seeing. So let me give you another scenario. We had a scenario where a brother had 2 wives, and nobody know what he was doing. But the whole of the matter is, both of my sisters are left in limbo financially. You left in limbo in terms of order. You don't know what to do with yourself, because you've been up under this horrific rule that was put down by this brother. Then I go on, we got sisters who you was getting counsel not to even marry these people, but yet you marry. They drag you away from us. They take you out. Nobody's watching him. See, that's the thing that you don't realize. When you hook up with these men, you need to find out if they're going to be submitted, because if they not, then they have full reign to just bash your head up against the wall, the front door, and everything that they want, and nobody can do nothing about it. Because here's the thing about it. I know I ain't getting in it. Why? Because I watch. When I tell you sound wisdom, you go beyond that. And I watch sisters be here. You've been in big fights. He put his hands on you. He grabbed you. He's done this. He's done that. Just like we got another sister that you knew this the truth, but some kind of way, this man that is doing all this talking and riding around trying to find out where we was having Sabbath at, because he was going to do this and do that. See, that's putting us in danger, because all you're going to do is go right back to him. You're going to go right back to the vomit. And then when we talk like this, when we give sound wisdom, this ain't what you want to hear, because you have a way that seemeth right in your eyes. And so I ain't going for it. I'm not going for it. See, daughters of Zion, I want you to hear Pastor Corey really well on this. Hear me on this. The baggage. See, what I'm starting to see concerning a good name is that, especially since last weekend when we were doing spiritual deliverance, and I began to see the other side, because I was seeing what sisters was being delivered from. And when you see and hear these things, you find out exactly, at least what I knew in the beginning. It was best that a daughter was never turned over to that life of sin, because her more so than the man was going to have a lot of baggage attached to her. The word said a woman would be, could be, should be, destined to be worth more than rubies. Worth more than rubies. Worth. But baggage devalues. And especially if you just wore out and nobody now can make use of you, because when you come together for him to know you, he can tell that you've been known by everybody on the block. And it's hard for him to get to know you because ain't no connection, spiritually or physically or mentally, because you laying down there thinking about how much hurt you've been in, and you got things that you're hiding. You know, when you show up at these congregations, you have stuff you hide. Oh yeah, you are. You know, some of you all were certified big time whores, and you have been freed from that. Now, I'm not holding you to that, but how are you going to get free? Because the thing is patterns. You know, some of you all, when I just from the outlay of a handshake or coming near to you to give you a holy greeting in the form of a hug, you could just see it. I was telling the sister, you know, Jesse and her trying to find out where she went wrong. I told her, I said, when I first met you, I could tell you had all of this loud mouth and just you got this selfish spirit, this aura, is all over you. And it was just a matter of time for it. You start spewing that out and pouring it out and messing up the environment that was meant to help you. It was only a matter of time. So here's the words of wisdom, sister and sisters, so that one, we protect the young daughters that's growing up, and two, that we get you to a solid foundation in the faith. So now that, not necessarily that you get married or somebody else, you know, come along and put you in their house, but more so that we're talking about having our soul being free of that debt. Because after all, the word says that sin weighs you down, and you can see that all over the face of women everywhere, all over. I mean, everywhere you go, you can see that these women are weighed down. They've caught a heck of a deal from whatever life that they had took on and thought at the time that it was a good idea and that it was fun and that it was, you know, the what they was meant to do. But you know, you find out it always ends at the end of the story that you get the short end of the stick. When you have just been used up and used up and used up, you listen to every tale that a man want to tell you. You received every person who knocked on your front door, you allowed them to come in. The freedom from that is renouncing. Every time a man come to your mind, every time a situation come to your mind, you renounce that, you rebuke it, you part ways with it. You desire that the Most High Yah renew you through and through, in and out. Restore your fragmented soul, my sister. Because, oh man, that's what's going on. I was listening to this sister cry out yesterday. I'm like, man, this sister needs to be restored. Knowing when I first met you, I felt it coming off of your aura that you, man, you, no way. And then I watch how easily this man was able to come in and draw you out. This is the things that was said yesterday. You know, I'm just so hurt. I said, don't be. Just repent and turn away from it. You ain't condemned to that no more. But I know what she was saying. She said, I left the congregation. I quit keeping the Sabbath for this man. Daughters, listen to me. That's why Yah gave you a head. Because some kind of way, Satan talked Hawwa, Eve, into thinking that she was going to become as Yah, and she went for it. And look at it today. The whole thing failed. And this is what happened. You all, instead of listening to wise counsel from elders and teachers, pastors, right? You listen to this voice that's in your flesh right between your legs. And man tell you anything. I know. Believe me, I know. I done said some foolish stuff and it went like a championship bowl game. It went. And I couldn't believe that you received this foolishness that I just let come out of my mouth and you went for it. So I know, believe me. And so sisters, I'm telling you right now, guard yourself that you don't be led astray, especially in a time such as this when the Most High Yah is preparing for the return of the righteous indignation that's going to come on this earth. Do not be without oil. Hey, I'm Pastor Corey with the Straightway Ministries of Straightway, Kansas City. And hey, be blessed and be restored. Shalom, shalom.